Here are the things about American houses that I realized that just make sense.
They have food grinders in their sinks, just like the movies.
What is this propeller?
What? No, it's just a fan.
A fan?
Yeah.
That's so dangerous. What if it falls on top of you?
Things in American houses that are different to European houses. Number 1, the doors are humongous here.
Does anybody in the USA want to adopt me as soon as possible? Because look at the price of an American house versus a British house.
So in America, the houses are absolutely massive. I mean, really big.
This is what it's like living in America. Everything's fucking huge. This is your proof. Check out this car.
Have you ever walked into someone's home and suddenly realized that almost everything looks completely different from what you're used to? For British tourists visiting America, that can be one of the biggest surprises. American houses can feel noticeably different from British homes, from enormous refrigerators and oversized kitchens to huge living rooms. Large beds, wide hallways, and appliances that seem much bigger than expected, the scale alone can leave British visitors amazed. For Americans, these things might feel completely normal. But for British visitors, walking into an American home for the first time can sometimes feel like stepping into a much larger version of everyday life. Even simple things like the size of the rooms, the way kitchens are designed, and how much space there is around the house can make them wonder, why is everything so big? And the most surprising part, some of these things are so normal in America that Americans may not even realize how unusual they can look to someone from Britain. So what exactly makes American homes feel so different, and which everyday things leave British visitors completely amazed? Let's find out. And if you enjoy our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, and your support would mean a lot. Let's get started.
Things in American houses that are different to European houses. Number 1, the doors are humongous here. You know how in European houses you can put your towel on the door? This is huge. While we're on the subject of doors, every single door has a lock on it, which I personally love. Plugs have these buttons on them. I'm pretty sure this is off and on. So for example, my hairdryer, if you didn't want to take out the plug, you can just press this button, which I don't really get because there's an on and off button on this hairdryer. But yeah, these are literally on every single thing here. So that's definitely a difference. American houses have this thing. It's not even a normal door stopper, it's literally this spring. Accidentally tripping on this in the middle of the night will wake up your whole entire house. Okay, next, every single house has a pantry. In England, we would just put all of this in our cupboards. Personally, I kind of like this. Every single fridge you see will have water, cubed ice, and crushed ice. Like, that is so bougie. Every single sink has like a machine that grinds everything in the sink. Like, listen to this. I don't know what the purpose is for that, but every single house will have a fan. That's all I can think of right now, but if you guys want a part 2, let me know.
How's it going, America? So this morning I thought I might come and show you something interesting that you might like to see. So in America, the houses are absolutely massive. I mean, really big. And let's say, for instance, you look at somewhere like Texas. For a few $100,000, you can probably get yourself a 3-4 bedroom house, garage, a double garage, a swimming pool and a driveway. For the exact same money in the UK, you can get yourself a little house like that, or like that, or like that, or like that, for a few $100,000. You don't get any garage, you don't get a driveway, and you probably won't get much of a garden either. Let me know if this shocks you. Anyway.
I'm English, but I live in America, and let me tell you the single most greatest thing about living in a house in America. That is the size of my washing machine door and my microwave door. So, look, this is it. It's literally the same width as my hob. And let me just show you. If I wanted to put in, it's got metal on it. Just don't try this at home, kids. This is just for size. Look at that. Look at that. And this is my washing machine door. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put you in the washing machine, and then you can see how big it is. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, this is me outside the washing machine, and this is me getting in the washing machine. This is how big it is, okay?
So, I'm a British person staying in an American house, and I want to show you all the differences that I've noticed so far. Starting with the outside of the house, and first of all, there's this thing, which I can only assume is some sort of air conditioning device. Now, of course, in the UK, if there's one thing we do not need, it's air conditioning. It's cold enough. There is also this sort of dungeon trapdoor, which I am too scared to even touch. Right, okay, let's go inside. Now, for some reason, all American houses have, like, 2 doors. There's this see-through one, and then the actual door. Another huge difference with American houses are these things. Plug sockets. Yes, we do have them, but you guys have about 4 million. I think you could power a small army with the amount of plug sockets you have in a house in America. And speaking of plug sockets, this is the most shocking thing in the house. What's this? There's one in the bathroom. You are asking to be electrocuted. Now, American houses have indoor access to the garage. You can just access it from inside. In the UK, we have to go outside to go into the garage, which actually seems a little bit crazy. I'm currently stood in the kitchen. Notice anything missing? They don't keep their tumble dryer and washing machine in the kitchen. They keep them separate in a whole different room. Now, when you think of air conditioning or heating, I always think it's in the walls or in the ceiling. Not in America. They blow hot and cold air out of the floor. Okay, 2 more things, and then I promise I'm done. Their plugs look like this. 2 thin ends and a chunky round one. In the UK, they look like this. So basically, if you're from the UK, bring an adapter. And last but not least, most American houses are made of wood. So one strong gust of wind or a tiny little fire, and it is quite literally game over.
Things in my American house that as a Brit, I now have no idea how I would live without. These amazing taps that just do it all. Of course, this bad boy. The sheer size of my fridge freezer. Walk-in closets in every house. She's a mess, but genius. Air conditioning. The size of loo roll. It's just huge. Keeping washer dryers in the garage and the size of them. I mean, I could live in these washer dryers. The size of detergent. Huge. And how long clothes take to dry. Literally, I can dry all my towels and sheets perfectly. Nothing shrinks in like 45 minutes. They're amazing here.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the sheer size of an American oven? Now back home, my oven stops like here. And I also love this drawer. So you can put in all your pots and pans. Well, what would fit? Maybe your pans. And also it's like a warming drawer, so you keep food warm whilst you're cooking and serving the rest. I mean, genius. We just do not have this drawer or these size ovens back in the UK.
What is this propeller?
What? No, it's just a fan.
A fan?
Yeah.
That's so dangerous. What if it falls on top of you?
So a few days ago, I had to move out of my apartment and I'm now living in a house for the summer. I have this whole house all to myself. I've been here for a few days and there is some major differences that I have noticed between American houses and British houses. And I'm going to show you some of them. Before I do that though, one thing I wanted to mention is in America, a lot of houses are only 1 floor or 1 story. You'd call it a story. And in England, we called 1-story houses bungalows. But bungalows is not a word that's used here at all. So if you're English watching this, it's a bungalow. But anyway, first thing, massive kitchen here, right? What do you notice? There's no washer and dryer. In houses in America, the washer and dryer is in a completely different room. In England, we have our washer and dryer in the kitchen. In an English house, these cupboards here, for example, would be replaced probably with washer and dryer. Now, this one surprised me. Plug sockets in the bathroom. Now, I understand it because it's easier for like drying your hair and shaving and things like that. But yeah, we do not have plug sockets in our bathrooms in England. Now, this next thing is something we don't have in England, but we honestly should. So you'll have the regular door here, right? And then there's this second screen door, which I'm assuming is to keep the bugs out if you want to get fresh air in. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have them in England. And they would definitely help during the summer. But yeah, that's the main things off the top of my head. I've got all this fucking room to myself. No furniture, no. Bedroom's furnished, but no furniture in here, so I don't know what I should use this space for. Maybe have a little football tournament, little 5-a-side in here. You get 5-a-side in here easy. Yeah, let me know. I'm going to be here all summer. And I know I haven't uploaded too much recently. I just got busy with moving house and just a bunch of other stuff outside of TikTok. So get back on it now, back to the regular uploads, and yeah, see you all soon.
You could tell straight away what's an American house and a UK house. If you see this fan, if you see this ceiling fan in someone's house, just know they're American. They're from the States, dude. I don't know if I've ever seen this fan in an English house, in a UK household. In fact, I know there's some rich people in the UK that probably have this in their house just for aesthetics. If you see this in someone's house, they're in the UK. They're in Great Britain. But there's a reason for that, because it's always cold. Like, even look outside. Oh, you can't even see. There's a green screen on. The radiators. I have like 6 in this apartment. It's cold in the UK. Really and truly, without these in the winter, we're all finished. Icicles. Penguins! I saw an American saying that everywhere in the UK looks the same, and now I believe it. I agree with them. This road here can be in Manchester, it could be in London, it could be in Birmingham, and so can this one. All the roads in the UK, 95% of the roads in the UK look the same. In the US though, I feel like everyone has detached houses. Even if you have a tiny house in the US, your house is still detached from the next person's. The bedroom. 80% of the girls that live in Essex have this exact room layout. The velour, the crushed diamond, I don't even know what you call it, the grey velour, the velvet. They all look like this. I've never watched a film, a reality TV show, I've never watched anything out of the US where they have this exact same bedroom layout. I've run out of time, but we have a lot more to talk about. Comment some more in the comments.
Does anybody in the USA want to adopt me as soon as possible? Because look at the price of an American house versus a British house. This is an average house in England. 400,000, 3 bedrooms, semi-detached. Look at it. It's nothing special. But then you have a look at the American houses for the same price. This is pretty much the exact same price. Look at it. Detached. 4 bedrooms, and look at the size of that. If that house was in the UK, it would be worth millions. So why is it that Americans practically have palaces for houses? Every time I've seen an American on my For You page, they have got a mansion. They've got the stairs that, you know, take up the whole hallway. It's luxurious. What are we doing in the UK? What are we doing? You can barely get a house here. You have to live in a cardboard box for your first house. Can't wrap my head around the fact that Americans are getting a house of that size and that look for £400,000.
I'm a Brit who lives in Florida, and here are some things inside of my home that you would not find inside of a typical British home.
Starting off, we have this beauty. This is our AC control unit, but not every house in America has AC, but definitely most of the houses in Florida do have AC because we do live in a hot state. Another beauty of mine is this amazing fan. Then we have AC. You can't beat the fan going in the summer.
Next up, we have our typical American fridge freezer. The size of it is just, it's perfect. And every single house in the world needs a fridge this big. Next, we have our typical American washer and dryer unit. I bet I could fit inside of this. These are so big, like I can literally wash loads and loads and loads of washing in these and dry them at the same time. I'm sure that some houses in England will have one of these, but not every house. I honestly never ever met anybody with a garbage disposal, but something I absolutely love about my American home is our garbage disposal. This right here, you can put your hands in it when it's not on. I'm going to turn it on now and cover your ears because it's loud. Basically that just disposes of any garbage, any food, anything that you've put down the sink, and yeah, it just gets all washed away. Something else in my American home that you typically wouldn't find in a normal standard British house is the amount of outlets, the amount of plug sockets in this house it's crazy.
Things you see in a British house that you wouldn't typically see in an American house. I've been dying to do this one. The reverse. Number 1, a washing line. I was ready to peg a washing out. As you can see, all the neighbours have them up as well. Number 2, a washing machine in the kitchen. That's right, guys. A washing machine in the kitchen. Now, for example, my mum and dad did have a laundry room, but that was after living in that house for 20 years. They finally added one on. It ain't custom. Most kitchens are built that your washing machine will go in your kitchen. Number 3, an electric kettle. Now, let me explain why you don't typically see these in America. I can't speak for the whole of America because I only live in Ohio, but I have been to a lot of states. And with my TikTok and the people that follow me, I've had a lot of conversations. What I find most common in America is the one that you put on like the stove, you know what I mean? But the reason electric kettles are so custom here is because the right thing to do when someone walks into your house in the Great Britain is say, Do you want a cuppa? So we have an electric kettle. Eggs not being in the fridge but being on the side. We don't refrigerate our eggs here in the UK. We don't have to, so you never see them in the fridge. That's something I have to keep reminding myself of when I buy eggs in America. A letterbox, guys. So this is how we get our mail. They just pop it through and it just drops on. Woo! Next up is radiators. Now, I have seen radiators in some American houses, not a lot, but a lot of American houses will have it in the floor. And the other thing that you won't see typically in a British house is AC. Yeah, guys, I'll try and avoid coming over to England in the summer because I just can't. Next up is we don't have bug screens at all. In the summer, the Castor Bug's life will just come through your window and you will deal with it accordingly. And the moths are bigger than the beetles over here as well. So Lorraine's going to peg a washing out. That's it, girl. Get your washing up. Has got a rod up, look, to make it a bit higher. By the way, I will defend the pegging out the washing. I am very Americanised and I would not be able to live without my washer and dryer. And there's a lot of Brits that have washers and dryers that wouldn't be able to now. But there is nothing better on a summer's day than bringing in your washing and you can just smell, because I feel the dryer takes away the laundry smell and you can just smell and feel the warmth of it from the sun. Yeah, a couple of, you know, spiders and that on it and all just for extra spice. But yeah, we do what we do.
Just a few things that I want to tell you guys that I have noticed that is weird. When you go to the toilet, number one, it flushes automatically. No warning. No sign. Cleanse of the minge. I was shocked when this happened. We don't have this type of technology. Who's in charge of the toilets over here? Stephen Hawkins, it seems. Smart. Clever. This also baffles my mind, right? On the motorway, there's a specific special lane just for cars with 2 or more people in. Like, why is there not all lanes for just however many people you want in the car? No, there's a specific lane that you can go on, drive in, just for 2 people and above. So you can't go in that lane if there's just one person. No, God forbid. God forbid. Who knows what would happen if you'd go in that lane, just one person. When you're filling up your petrol, there's 4 different types of the same petrol. You may think, Chloe, what do you mean there's 4 types? Isn't it just petrol and diesel? No, there's diesel regular, diesel plus, and diesel V-Power. Blew my head. You can turn right on a red light. That's not normal. Is it safe? I don't know. I haven't got a licence over here. But even if it's on a zebra crossing, guys, you can turn right on a red light. Like, that is so illegal in the UK. If it's red, it's red. If it's green, it's green. Go, stop. In the US, why is it so complicated? And people might already know this, but I didn't. When you go for a meal, you ask for the card machine. The waitress says, card machine? No. So that's not the normal way of paying for things over there. You literally eat your meal. They give you a piece of paper to sign. You put your card on the piece of paper, the receipt. They take it back, do something with your card, and then bring it back to you. I lost my card weeks ago. I only have Apple Pay. That's been a problem. I'll keep you guys updated on the rest of the weird things that I find out about this country. But yeah, love you, America.
Things in my American home that I never had back in the UK. Now, for context, we did live in a army accommodation, so some of these things might not be related to you, but they're definitely what we have experienced with living in military life for 12 years previous to now. And number one is going to be the air conditioning system, which actually, as of right now, because we're having a cold spell today, has been switched to heating. It has literally been 0 degrees Celsius overnight, freezing. Another thing I have never had back in the UK, a driveway. People would probably laugh at that one, but dude, I have a driveway now. I feel like I'm famous or something. If anyone has seen where we've come from in the UK, to have an idea about what house we used to live in and what neighbourhood we used to live in, I thoroughly suggest you go look at some old videos. Not only do each of my kids have a bedroom, when they shared one back in the UK they were in bunk beds, but they have a beautiful built-in wardrobe, which we never had back in our army house in the UK. Next up is my beautiful laundry room. Now in England your washer and dryer are in your kitchen, whereas out here in America you have their own special room. And in our army house, we didn't even have space for the fridge in our kitchen. Our fridge used to be in our dining room, so my fridge is in my kitchen too. And while I'm in my beautiful living room, space. This house is almost 3 times the size of my army 3-bedroom home back in the UK. Another thing is that all of my windows on the outside of my house have netting, so I can still, in the cooler months out here in Florida, have my windows open, but no buggies come in, which is pretty good for Florida. This one probably isn't just for America, I would imagine, but something that we've never experienced is we have speakers in every single room in this house connected to a box, and I can play music from it in different parts of the house if I want to, or in the entire house, which I think is pretty snazzy. Next up, my kids have a den, a space that is all their own to hang out and chill. Garbage disposal, no more yucky food in your bin, it all goes down here, love it. This may be silly, but we did not have this in our army house. It makes cleaning your sink an absolute breeze. I know some places have these in the UK, modern new builds, but not our house. Oh, and I definitely didn't have that view either. Then I have an ensuite bathroom. What? With an enormous shower, which bests any shower I think I've ever been in my entire life, actually. And of course, walk-in wardrobes. Definitely can't forget a pantry. Pantry 1. Messy. And our backup pantry out here is pantry number 2. This is probably going to be a silly one, but plug sockets. Every room has all the plug sockets you possibly need. In England, you might have 1 or 2. That might just be my army house. Remember, that's where we've come from. So overall, do I like my American home compared to my British military home? 1050%.
I'm a Brit living in America, and these are the things in my American house that you would not find in a British house. I didn't know this one was illegal in the UK until last week. Plug sockets in the bathroom. It means that I can put our toothbrush on charge, or if I want, I can curl my hair in the mirror and in the bathroom. You can't even have light switches in the UK inside the bathroom. It has to be on the outside. I could not live without a plug socket in the bathroom. It makes such a difference. The next thing, which is one of my favorites, in fact, is this little thing right here. This is where we control our AC and our heating. So on a hot day, I can just turn the temperature down to whatever I want and it'll come out. I haven't seen many people in the UK have this, but it is a food dispenser where you chuck all your food in. You press the button and it'll all blend it and chuck it away. Something else that I find a bit crazy is how big washing machines are. They are literally, my mum said this, like double the size of the UK. And the dryers. They are so much bigger compared to the UK. If you want a part 2 of things in my American household, let me know.
Things in an American home that would drive a British person crazy. Let's go. A dishwasher in the kitchen, not laundry. There's no door to the kitchen. No switch, just plug it in and it works. The Queen says hi. The boiler hot water heater, it's in the garage. Windows that open up and down. Screens on the window, because if not, bugs would get in. A laundry room. Washer, dryer. Cold, hot. All right. How mad does that drive you? That's totally different than the UK. When I was over there, blew my mind how opposite things are.
Can someone explain this to me? I don't understand why you have 2 faucets for one sink. So obviously this side is hot, this side is cold, but like, how do you wash your hands comfortably with 2 of these? Because like, if you put both hands on one under each one is scalding hot and the other one is freezing cold. And like, I tried doing this the other day of like going back and forth. I'm sorry, this cracks me up because I've never seen this. In our old house here in the UK, didn't have this. This one does, but I've never seen, like, we don't have this stuff in America. Like, why 2 faucets for one sink. Like, how do you like hot and then cold? But like, do you go like back and forth? Like, how do you like wash your hands without like? I mean, because you want warm water, but like if you just, it's too hot to just do it by itself, and it warms up really fast and hot. So I don't know. What do you guys do with this? And is like all your sinks like this? Now this is just our half bath down here on the ground floor. The other few bathrooms aren't like that, but which I'm thankful for. Because could you imagine trying to wash your face with like hot cold water at the same time? And the sink is so tiny. It's so itty bitty. This is the smallest sink I've ever seen in my entire life. But you know, we always do everything so big in America. But I can handle the tiny sink. I just think it's hilarious having 2 faucets. That and another thing for the bathrooms. Our old house here in the UK didn't have this. This bathroom, or this house has this bathroom. Actually, all 3 bathrooms have this like cord thingy, which is interesting. I think some of the older houses in America might have something like that, because I think I kind of remember at one of my grandparents' house having that. But like, obviously that got updated real quick. But are these common, or just do you guys do like light switches? But just find that interesting.
This is how we boil water in the UK. And this is how they boil water in America. By putting it in the microwave. Americans don't even know what this is. This is a kettle, which you simply flick the switch and it boils water for you. I'm gonna make a cup of tea with both a kettle and microwave the water and see which one tastes better. You just flick the switch inside, and I'm gonna take a guess. I don't even know how long to do this for. See, the kettle has already told me that it's boiled and it's ready to go. How am I meant to know when it's done? So this is the British cup of tea and this is the American cup of tea. You can see exactly why the Americans don't like cups of tea, because they don't boil their water correctly. They don't boil it hot enough. And what do they expect? Americans, you really need to invest in a kettle. It will make your life 10 times easier, 10 times better. And you don't have to wait around and keep checking the microwave to see if the water's hot enough.
Things we have in our American house that we didn't have in our England house. Air conditioning. This is an absolute must living in California when the temperatures can reach over 40 degrees. We're also using that for heating at the moment, so no little radiators on the walls. Every month we get one of these shipped to us and we have to get the ladders, climb up there and replace them. And when we first arrived at this rental property, the air conditioning wasn't working. And because it was so hot in California, we weren't allowed to stay in the property until it had been repaired, which meant we had to pay for another week in the hotel. We also have one of these, which I think are called garbage disposals. Me and my husband just call it the gobbler. Put the food down the gobbler. And because we're not used to these garbage disposals, we've just been scraping our plates in there, rinsing off our dinner, and everything's been fine. But last week my husband decided to peel potatoes into that area of the sink and then flush the peelings down. You can guess what happened. We spent the next 2 hours trying to unplug the garbage disposal. It's fine now, but we didn't know. We're British. And one of these electric garage doors. I've always wanted one of these. And gardeners, do they call them gardeners here? It's not a garden, it's a yard. Yardners? Yard workers? I don't know. To be honest, our garden is so small that it's probably not really worthy of having gardeners. They kind of just take the leaves away and set the sprinkler timers and so on. Apparently it's part of the HOA, so you have to have your grass cut to a certain length and it needs to be quite manicured. And we also have sprinklers here, which we didn't have in England. Obviously they were not needed with how much rain we used to have, although I'm not entirely sure what the sprinklers are doing here or trying to keep alive or grow, because it's barren.
I'm a European living in an American house, and here are 3 things that are super normal in America but I wish we had in Europe. First of all, an ice machine in every fridge. I wish it so bad that we had it. but we don't. Okay, second of all, the basement. I feel like every American house has a basement like this. They're nice, they're big, you can store it so much things, and I wish European houses had those too. And the last thing that every American house has, in my opinion, is that all the rooms are connected. You can hang out there, you can hang out there, and you don't really have separate rooms with closing doors, etc., etc. Now, do you want to see a European living in America? Hit that follow button.
Now, I am British and I am currently in an American neighbourhood. This time it's a Boston neighbourhood. And I'm going to show you some of the differences between Boston and the UK. For a start, the colours are wild. This is a fall in America. Now, the last time I did an American neighbourhood, it was in the South in North Carolina, where the houses were all kind of single floors. Here, every house has 2 floors. So the houses seem bigger, but they are still made of wood. Now, remember the fire hydrants? These have flags on them. Now look at this. This is a newspaper. I think it's just been thrown on the driveway. If that was to happen in the UK, there'd be uproar. One thing I will say is it does feel a lot more British. I'm feeling like there's a bit of an English influence here. The weather for sure, because it is colder. We've still got the American flags. Can always guarantee. Every house is like something out of a Christmas movie. Like this should be on a postcard. Wait until you see this. This is a baseball field, just right by a neighbourhood. Look at that. This is bonkers. In the UK, this would be a football pitch. Sorry, soccer. When I've been in the South, I haven't seen a baseball pitch right next to a neighbourhood. So does that mean that baseball is better in the North? One thing I will say is it does feel a little bit more neighboury. Everyone seems like they live closer together. So I don't know if that means that people are more friendly or it's just a smaller state so they have to live closer together. That is my comparison of American neighbourhoods through these Brits' eyes. But don't go anywhere because I feel like there's going to be a lot more to come.
Sup fuckers, we're going to go over something today that we have here in America but we don't have back home in the UK. And I've got a genuine question for some of you Americans because I really don't fucking understand it. Now, like I've been saying for the last couple of months, me and the missus have been going out pretty much every day looking at new places to rent. Okay, we finally found somewhere, our application got approved. We're renting at the minute because I can't buy until the next tax year because I'm a foreign bastard, all right, and I'm self-employed. I've got to be here for X amount of time before I can get a mortgage that won't fucking bleed me out my arse, okay? But while searching for a new place to live, a lot of properties are under a HOA, Homeowners Association. For the Brits that don't know, I'd be very surprised if you don't know, but basically a HOA is everyone in the neighbourhood pays a certain amount every month to a fucking committee that fucking makes sure that the neighbourhood is kept clean. Okay, this committee is normally an elected few, right? And they're people that have been bullied their entire childhood and they got fucking a meaningless, worthless fucking current life situation. They just stay at home all day, they do fuck all, and they just need some edge in their life. So they go on power trips and fucking fine people if they haven't cut their grass after 6 hours or something like that. It's basically like Nazi Germany, but right where you fucking live. It's great. My question to the Americans is, why is it so common? Now, me and the missus have been looking for a lot of properties, and like I said, I've been browsing at properties to buy here, man, because I just want to know what area. I'll get like good land and a nice house and stuff like that, but there's so many properties in a HOA and I've got no fucking interest in it. And the only arguments I've heard for it is, yeah, it's to stop your neighbour from putting a toilet in his fucking front yard, right? And I drive around all fucking day and I go through so much countryside, so much fucking neighbourhoods that don't have a HOA, and I don't see any shit in their front yard or backyard. In fact, I'd say Georgia in general is so fucking clean and tidy. Like, everyone takes pride in their property. Don't get me wrong, I've drove through some ghettos. Yeah, I know there's shitholes, okay? But the vast majority of places I've seen, everyone takes pride in their shit. All their grass is cut, and this isn't in HOAs, it's fucking anywhere, mate. Like, people love their property and look after it. Why do you go for a HOA? Why do you volunteer more money away? And why do you give these absolute fucking dicks authority? It don't make any fucking sense to me, right? The rental that we're getting isn't a HOA, and I can bet fucking pound to a penny that I'm going to get some letters. So when I do, I'll happily share that with you guys. I look forward to that. But when I go to buy, like fuck, will I be living on a HOA? Now, I'll throw shade at a UK government all fucking day. I hate the UK government. Hate them with a fucking passion. Okay, but the UK people, this shit would never fly. Okay, if you had 45-year-old overweight fucking Barbara go and knock on 30-year-old the plumber David's house at fucking 7 o'clock in the evening after he's on a 14-hour shift to tell him that he's a fucking shit show and that he's getting fined £100 because he didn't trim his head on the weekend, Barbara's going to get a punch in the face or bottled or something. There'll just be scraps every fucking day over the most meaningless, mediocre fucking shit. It would never fly in the UK. Why do so many Americans put up with it and fucking support it here? That's the only, like, it's a big fucking gripe for me. Let me know.
Things that don't make sense to me about America. Number one, you have to pay to have a child. You genuinely have to pay about 20 odd grand just to have birth. What if you're having twins or triplets? Does it actually triple the price? Along with that, I think you have to pay for, like, if you go in an ambulance, like, a lot as well. I'm so sorry that I fell out of a tree and broke my limbs. Number two, the cheerleaders that you see in, like, films are actually a real thing. The films don't exaggerate about high school. That is crazy to me. Number three, free drink refills, like soda, what they call it, refills. I didn't actually know this. Like, you're telling me I can go and get a Coke refill when it wouldn't cost me £4. Number four, like, the school system. There's like 7 levels: prep, kindergarten, sophomore. We just have reception, primary and secondary. Number five, GCSEs just aren't a thing. I don't know if it's like, is it a diploma? But GCSEs aren't a thing. They mean life to us over here. How do you get a job? How do you get into college? I don't even know what college is over there. Number six, tax isn't like in the labels. So when you go and buy something, you don't actually know the real price of it until you scan it. What happens if you're budget shopping? It's just confusing for no reason. All you have to do is write the extra money in the tag. Number five, Halloween is like a massive thing. It's like Christmas. Everyone decorates their houses. I think it's quite cool. But it is extreme levels of effort going into these houses. Over here is just maybe a little pumpkin outside of a candle. No massive Frankensteins. But God, how much money do you guys have? You're spending 20 grand on a kid per child. You're paying if you injure yourself, and you're paying for like $1,000 decorations. Number eight, yearbooks are actually a thing every single year. I'm jealous. I want a yearbook. I want to put a quote in a book. I think that's all.
So as a Brit, we all know that our tablets come in packaging like this. Every single one of our tablets will look like this. And to get a tablet out, you basically have to pop it and then it comes out and you've got the tablet. So you can probably imagine my surprise when I had a headache in America and I went to a pharmacy to get some Advil, which is like the paracetamol equivalent in America. Tell me why these look like Smarties. Why does the paracetamol look like Smarties? I just want to sit here and eat these. These look really tasty. They look like sweets. I don't get that.
This is what it's like living in America. Everything's fucking huge. This is your proof. Check out this car. It's taller than me. The wheels are right where my hips start. It's fucking crazy.